Okay, we're back here in the shower. Time to put up some tiles. All right, so I'm going to do a time lapse so you can see the process. Most of you all know it anyway. I'm putting it up for just those that aren't real familiar, so they don't have to fight and struggle with how to go about it, you know, the fear of the unknown. All right, so no further ado, I'm going to start this time lapse and get started. All right, thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for your support and your comments and your time. I know we're all busy and we're stretched pretty thin. So again, I thank you and appreciate you being here. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. I look forward to getting to know you and your channel, or your channel and you. And united we stand, and united we're making this happen. So with no further ado, let's do this. Okay. Now I'm gonna mix the mud. I have a video on how to mix mud. You want your mud thick. Almost not like clay, but super thick, more like a biscuit dough almost. A little thinner than that, if that makes any sense. I want it real heavy. Not just thick, but heavy, so that it sticks on the tile, and when it's vertical, it doesn't run. Okay, it can sag a little bit, but you don't want it to run. Or else you're going to have it oozing out everywhere, and then that makes the tiles uneven, and it can cause gaps and hollow spots behind the tile. And as long as your tile's, 90%, you're good. I like it 100%. I'm also going to back butter the tile and the wall on these large format tiles. And so I'm going to show you how I get this going. Then we'll be doing that time lapse I talked about. And again, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you think it's good enough, share it. I'd appreciate it. All right, thank you. Here we go. All right. Now this is like a 3.5 gallon bucket. It's a little bit wider, a little shorter than the 5 gallon. Here's the comparison. Here's the 5 gallon. All right, you can see the opening at the top's a little wider, for what that's worth to you. All right, I like putting my water in first before I add my powder. You don't want to breathe the dust, and you want to keep the dust down. All right, and here's a little cup I use for if I need extra water to be put in the mix. All right, that way you don't pour in too much by accident. So I'll use that, and it looks like I have a little bit of residue here I got to pour out. Okay. So I'm going to guesstimate the amount of water I need to start with based on the amount of thinset I believe I'm going to use. So if I have to make it more, I'm going to make it more. I'm also going to mix this by hand. All these videos you see, people are using mixers, and there's nothing wrong with using mixers. Mixers are actually a little faster, and that's why they use them. But this is the old way, and you don't see anybody hardly doing it this way. So I'm just going to pour this in very carefully, as controlled as possible. And I'm thinking I may have a little too much water, and maybe not, but I can always add more water, and I'd rather add more water than thinset. All right, that's still a fair amount of water. Good. I'd say good inch or so from the bottom up. Okay, so I'm gonna get this kind of put here, the thinset in the center. Then I'm just going to drop it down here to the bottom and let it kind of ease itself out there, because you can stir up a lot of dust. And like I said, this dust is not good. Some of it can even cause cancer. So for that reason, you don't want to breathe the dust. And that's one of the reasons why I'm being so careful not to stir it up. Now there's a little bit of dust coming up presently. And, you know, I have these. So maybe I'll just put it on for GP, you know. Can't go wrong. Okay, now, this was my grandfather's trowel. This is a handle he made from a tree limb, as you can see. All right, this is just a tree limb that he used. And I'm going to need some more Thinset. Okay. Get this mixed up real well here. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to put some more Thinset in because this is just like soup. Okay. I also have plastic in here on the floor, just in case you were wondering. Now we're going to pour again. I'm probably going to need some more Thinset. It's getting thick though, you can see, I believe you can see. And maybe not. Let's see how well you can see here. All right, now you can see it really well. All right, I think the dust is down. Just taking off my mask. Spreading it along the sides of this bucket here. Okay. Dig down, go all the way to the bottom and scrape the bottom of this in the corners where it wants to hang out and settle on you. Yeah, I'm going to need a little more. This is what I'm saying. If I were to put this on my tile right now, it would run off. And I'll show you. If this represents tile, all right, if you turn it on its edge, you can see it's just running off. And that's what it would do on your tile. All right. So there's your gauge. Is that right there. So when it doesn't run off your tile, and you'll also feel when you're mixing it, there's the resistance that you get as you're mixing it will get pretty tough. And this will be very stiff. And that's what we're wanting. Okay, that would work, but again, that wouldn't set up. I mean, it would set up, but it would run out and make a mess. and cause your tiles to be uneven, cause your tiles to have air bubbles or big spaces in the back, and you do not want that. Okay, so we're going to add some more. Well, I'm going to have to open up this other bag, it looks like, and maybe not. This may be just enough to get the job done. Okay, let's see. That could be just enough. Could be what the doctor ordered. I'm in a real tight space here. All right, let's see. I'm just kind of going to mix this in here at the top. All mix in here on top. Then I'll mix it into the rest. Kind of doing that automatically. Okay, right now it's kind of the consistency I'm talking about, kind of like biscuit dough. For those of you that make biscuits, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or seen your mom do it or grandma do it. Although not as thick as biscuit dough, although this is going to be good, I believe. Okay, we'll do the test in a second. Okay, there's this resistance I was talking about that I'm feeling here, and you can see the difference in the thickness. Look, it doesn't run off. Okay, it's completely vertical, and it does not want to move, all right? See how thick that is? It's dripping off, but it's barely moving. Okay, and I would say that's pretty good. That's about where you want it, all right? So I'm going to finish mixing this. And so that's about the consistency you want. Look how big and heavy that is. But yet it's, see? And it's not going to be that thick on your tile, all right? It's not. So you should be good. Now you can make it thicker if you like. You can make it thicker. Alright, so let me get this. And then now we're just going to put it on time lapse. So the next thing you'll see is the time lapse. Alright.